Speaker. Mr. Speaker, ladies and gentlemen of the House, last year I testified against Medicaid expansion because I said we needed to see how Mainers fared once the exchange was rolled out. And I'm pleased to say that after a difficult, some might even say disastrous beginning, Maine people have fared better than we imagined, with an estimated half of those who would be covered by an expensive welfare system, what we call MaineCare, eligible for extremely affordable private insurance at no direct cost to Maine taxpayers and with the personal responsibility that gives people a hand up and not a handout. Yes, we still have the issue of those who fall in the gap. And I hold out hope that our federal delegation will take action to help us find coverage for them without including those who qualify in the exchange. In this matter, I can feel the representative from Augusta's, both representative from Augusta's, pain. In the meantime, many of those people have the options already discussed by the good representative from Chelsea. I wish I could support this bill. I was hopeful for a bipartisan compromise. Unfortunately, I can't ignore the fiscal realities that we face in the state of Maine. As a member who has served 2 terms on the Labor, Commerce, Research, and Economic Development Committee, I've been very frustrated by our state's lack of ability to fund programs in DECD. The biggest need we have in Maine is not health care. It's not health insurance. It's not access to health care. It's access to good jobs, and it's access to training for the jobs that are already available. Unfortunately, we have seen too many of these programs cut over the years. My fear is that Medicaid expansion will deal a crippling blow to departments and programs outside of DHHS. Often lost in the partisan arguments being made are the departments and programs that have already suffered catastrophic losses due to the bloated Medicaid program we call MaineCare. Maine does not have unlimited resources. I wish we could print our own money. Programs are understaffed and underfunded right now. At the Department of Labor, the loss of general fund dollars has prevented many Mainers from getting back on their feet. As these funds have declined, the Department of Labor has become more and more dependent on federal funds. That's a dangerous path. Federal funds come with restrictions and can disappear at any time. For years, the Maine Enterprise Option ran as a successful program, helping to train Mainers in starting their own businesses. Over 2,700 people went through extensive business management training, everything from learning web and graphic design to running a dog grooming business. Resources dried up, the federal government pulled the funding, and the program was terminated. The last person was enrolled in 2012. Maine's Competitive Skills Scholarship Program, funded by employers, helps low-income individuals train for high-wage, in-demand jobs. Over $2.5 million was swept from this fund, and 360 Mainers lost out on access to this valuable program. These are some of the casualties that keep me up at night. The talented and hardworking staff of the Department of Labor is engaged in training programs and other initiatives that help businesses hire and retain skilled Maine workers. We need to encourage and support these types of programs. Thanks to the previous expansion of Medicaid and the resulting loss of general fund revenue, almost half of the 22 career centers in Maine were closed. Towns like Rumford, Dover-Foxcroft, Ellsworth, Holton, Belfast, Saco, and Waterville, to name a few, were stripped of a valuable resource for unemployed workers. Individuals with jobs can participate in the new created federal health exchange to purchase health insurance. A hand up is better than a handout. We should be focusing on investing in Maine's future by providing valuable job training. As we've seen over the course of the last 30 years, the federal government has reduced their matching rate for Medicaid reimbursement and shifted that cost to Maine, directly on our taxpayers. In the last decade alone, the cost of MaineCare has grown by over $1.3 billion. That's billion with a B. Adding an additional 100,000 people to MaineCare may be the straw that breaks the camel's back. An extra $800 million in state funds being spent on MaineCare will result in more programs being cut. Let's get back on track to fiscal sanity. I urge my colleagues to vote against this bill. I urge you to work with our federal delegation to provide a fix for those who fall in the gap, because we all want them to be covered. But this is not the answer. Thank you.